Robbie Robertson is a Canadian rock and roll guitarist, songwriter, and producer. He rose to fame as the lead guitarist and principal songwriter of the band. He won several accolades over the course of his career. Levon Helm was an American singer, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter and actor. He was the drummer and vocalist of the band and performed with the group from 1965 to 1976. He was also part of their post-reunion lineup. Both Robertson and Helm played a key part in the shaping of the Americana music genre during their collaboration in the band. Together, they wrote several timeless classics, such as The Wait, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down and Up on Cripple Creek. Robertson was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and raised in the city's Little Italy neighborhood. He began playing music in his teens, and attended York University for one semester as a film major. Helm was born in Marvell, Arkansas and grew up in the nearby town of Turkey Scratch. At the age of 4, he began playing drums and within a few years, was playing professionally in a local band. Robertson and Helm met when the former was asked to join the Hawks, the backing band of popular rockabilly singer Ronnie Hawkins. While playing with Hawkins, the group was honing their musical skills and experimenting with various genres. Eventually the group left Hawkins to become the band in 1968. During this time, they recorded their debut album Music from Big Pig. The album, which featured iconic songs such as The Wait, Tears of Rage and I Shall Be Released, was critically acclaimed. With their follow-up album The Band, they further explored their signature sound. The album featured several beloved songs from the group, such as The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Up on Cripple Creek and Rag Mama. Their influence did not go unnoticed. Several popular acts, such as Eric Clapton and Bob Dylan, have cited them as a heavy influence in their music. They have also been the subject of several documentaries, most notably Martin Scorsese's The Last Waltz. Robertson and Helm spent the following years writing and recording with the band. They celebrated their 10-year anniversary with the release of the live album Rock of Ages and the subsequent tour. By 1976, the band agreement began to unravel. Robertson left the group and Helm took a break and focused on his solo career. Helm released several solo albums in the early 1980s and reunited with surviving band members in 1983. In 1985, Robertson released his debut solo album Robbie Robertson. The album featured guest appearances by well-known musicians such as U2, Peter Gabriel and Bruce Hornsby. It went on to be certified gold by the RIAA. In 1991, the band reunited and released the album Jericho. The record featured 6 new songs written by Robertson and Helm, as well as covers by other artists such as John Hiatt and John Mellencamp. Helm and Robertson also teamed up to work on his solo album for Levon Helm in 1993. The record received critical acclaim, eventually leading to his induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 1996. In 2007, Helm returned to the studio to record Dirt Farmer, an album composed entirely of traditional Americana and folk songs. In addition to the original songs, they covered Dylan's I Shall Be Released and Emmylou Harris's Scarlet Town. The band also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that same year, an honor Robertson and Helm shared with fellow veteran musicians Ronnie Hawkins, Garth Hudson, and Richard Manuel. To promote the album, Helm and Robertson embarked on a tour across the United States. They also headlined the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival and performed at the Monroe Music Festival and the Newport Folk Festival. In 2009, they released Ramble at the Ryman, a live album consisting of songs from their performance at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. The album received positive reviews, with Slant magazine stating that it was a fitting testament to Helm's illustrious career. The same year, Helm released Electric Dirt, a follow-up album to Dirt Farmer. The album won the Grammy Award for Best Americana Album in 2010 and received 5 out of 5 stars from Rolling Stone magazine. Both Robertson and Helm remained involved in music-related endeavors until their deaths. Robertson penned his memoir Testimony in 2016 and Helm released a posthumous album, Southern Soul, a year later. Nowadays, Helm's musical legacy is kept alive by his daughter Amy. She continues to perform around the world, performing her father's classic songs as well as covers of other artists. Robertson was appointed to the Order of Canada in 2009 for his work in music and also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2017. He was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 2016. The musical legacy of Levon Helm and Robbie Robertson continues to influence musicians around the world. Their collaboration in the band gave rise to a new sound, and the timeless music they wrote through their partnership in the group remains some of the most influential Americana music of all time. In 2020, a documentary about them was released, named after the flood. Directed by longtime collaborator and Emmy-winning producer, Margaret Byrne, the film focuses on their time as members of the band to their respective solo careers. The documentary features new interviews with both Robertson and Helm, as well as rare archival footage and never-before-seen performances. It also includes interviews with fellow musicians and friends such as Eric Clapton, Peter Gabriel, Danko Jones, and more.